All right. Hey guys. So we're going to be looking at these slides very quickly because this actually isn't content that was really covered in the new DP Bio curriculum. But it's my understanding that they expect you to have a general understanding of digestion, even though it doesn't go into details. And there's one specific piece of information that you need to know about digestion. So with that in mind, it's only page 472 and 473 that is the content from the textbook. We're looking at interaction and interdependence, and this is looking at how hormones and nerves are related specifically to digestion. So when we're thinking about digestion, there's a whole bunch of different body parts involved in the digestive process. And so the esophagus carries food through muscular contractions down to the stomach. The stomach moves food around through muscular contractions, and then it moves on to the beginning of the small intestine. And because juice, and it's actually called chyme, the mixed up food is mixed in with acid, we don't want it burning the small intestine. The stomach has specific organs that are able, specific cells that are able to produce mucus that protects the stomach from acid, but the small intestine does not have those cells. And so the small intestine is the receiver of a bunch of enzymes from the pancreas, as well as a neutralizing agent. And there's a bunch of enzymes that are active throughout this digestive process. We have digestion in the mouth, which is occurring through amylase. In stomach, it's happening through pepsin. And then the pancreas produces lipase, amylase, and proteases that are all squirted into the small intestine. The small intestine, again, uses those same muscular contractions to move food along to the large intestine, and the large intestine absorbs water and then uses those same muscular contractions to move food along. And then it comes to the anus for removal. The gallbladder helps to emulsify fats by reducing the surface area to volume ratio of the fat molecules. And that's next to the liver. And so the liver actually makes a bunch of the fluids that are in the gallbladder called bile. And they make that through the breakdown of cholesterol. So the thing that we really need to know is this process of peristalsis, which is happening in your esophagus, it's happening in your stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And what it is muscular contractions that are moving food through the digestive pathway, and it promotes mixing. And so the longitudinal muscle is this muscle on the outside edge here, and then the circular muscle is this inner one. And they're working together to contract and relax to move food through the intestines. And then we have the submucosa, which is this piece that connects those muscles onto the mucosa. And then this part, the lumen, is the inside of the digestive pathway. So the mucosa here connects onto the submucosa. And then there's these villi, which are like finger-like projections that increase the surface area to volume ratio in your small intestine so that things can be absorbed really well. There's lots of pumping and molecule transfer that's occurring through the villi. We don't need to know about the structure of the villi, even though they did need to know that in the previous curriculum. All right, so what's going on with peristalsis? So we've already talked about these enzymes being released by the different organisms. They're going to hydrolyze the macromolecules so they can be absorbed. And that's going to be controlled by the enteric nervous system. So that's your peripheral nervous system. This is involuntary, it's happening automatically, and there's no input from your central nervous system. So like you don't need to think, hey, I need to digest this stuff in order for you to be able to digest. And this is just a review here of the process that we talked about on the first slide. So then the circular and longitudinal muscles are working together to move food slowly through the digestive process. And these are both smooth muscles. And so they're producing continuous moderate force with waves of vigorous contraction. And that is the process of peristalsis. So voluntary gut movements, the only ones that are voluntary are going to be pooping, defecation, and also swallowing. So touch receptors at the back of the throat signal to your brainstem to promote swallowing contraction, and that'll push food into your throat, but you can swallow voluntarily. I can do it right now. And so pooping, obviously, we don't initially have control of when we're babies, but we gain control of those muscles as we age. And so this here is an image of the process of peristalsis. And so we have contraction here of the circular muscle behind the food mass going on, and the longitudinal muscles here are more relaxed. And then the contraction of the longitudinal muscles is happening in front of the food mass. And the contraction of the circular muscle is going to force food forward. So the role of the villi, very quickly, just increasing surface area to volume ratio. It's going to absorb nutrients, minerals, vitamins, sugars, amino acids. Glucose, amino acids, and minerals get absorbed into the blood. So you can see these are blood vessels here, and these are the villi. So it's going to go past the cell barrier there and then into the blood vessels. And also there's another type of vessel in here called the lacteal, which is linked to your lymphatic nervous system. And that's moving fats around your body. So everything else goes into your bloodstream, but fatty acids are going to go into your lacteals. And your lacteals are also related to your immune system. There's lots of different types of transport going on. So we have co-transport, facilitated diffusion, osmosis, and simple diffusion, all of these things that we have already learned about. And fatty acids and triglycerides can move in through the villi very easily through simple diffusion or facilitated diffusion with transporter protein. And so in total, there's a number of organs and enzymes involved in digestion. These are the enzymes, amylase, pepsin, and lipase. The organs that we really need to be thinking about are the stomach and the small intestine, because those are the ones that are going through peristalsis to move through food through our digestive system. And then our villi are going to absorb nutrients through active transport, facilitated or passive diffusion, or exocytosis, or also osmosis. Okay, so that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching.